Welcome to my channel. I'm Nicki, a fully qualified UK driving instructor. In this video, I'll be taking you along for a relaxing drive in my manual car. Sit back, unwind, and enjoy the calming sounds of the road. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe for more peaceful drives. And remember, please don't listen to this while you're driving.
Thank you for joining me on another drive through Staffordshire. This time we're on the A500 through Stoke-on-Trent. It's a dual carriageway and it's rush hour, so it's quite busy this evening. While we're driving on the dual carriageway, particularly when we're at speed, we need to make sure that we've got a safe stopping distance in between us and the car in front. We need to make sure in the nice dry weather conditions that we have a 2-second gap. We can measure the 2-second gap by picking something stationary at the side of the road and starting to say a little rhyme to measure the time it takes us to get to the same point. Another way to look at this is, would you be able to fit a lorry in the gap between you and the car in front? You can see the slip road now joining us from the left. I'm checking my mirrors to make sure that there's nobody that we're going to be blocking getting onto the slip road, or anybody that's going to be causing any trouble. It's pretty busy, so our speed has dropped a little bit. The gap between me and the car in front is reduced, so we need to reduce our speed to make sure that we've got that safety gap there. We also need to check to make sure that the person behind us is travelling at a good distance, and to make sure that if we've got somebody coming alongside us in the right hand lane that looks as though they're going to want to cut in front of us, then we can defensively keep ourselves safe. So mirrors are essential in this kind of situation to make sure that we're ahead of the game and we're keeping not only ourselves safe but everybody around us. The car behind me is at a really good distance and I feel safe with their actions. The red car there wants to come across in front of me, and that's reduced my safety gap. So now I'm going to be checking my mirrors and just slowing down a little bit to create that safety gap again. When the car in front now has got a safe distance from me, I'll start to increase my speed back up to the speed limit. We've got another slip road joining us from the left, so I'm checking to see who's on the slip road now. Nobody's there that's going to be wanting to get in front of us, so we're all perfectly safe. I can see there's a speed increase sign up ahead. Speed is going to be changing to 60 miles, 70 miles an hour because we're on a dual carriageway and there are 2 lanes. So national speed limit in that situation is 70 miles an hour. The speed of the traffic in front of us is going to let us do 70 miles an hour, and we need to take the next exit from this road. So I'm not going to have time to safely overtake the slower moving cars before needing to get back in to make my exit. Here's the countdown markers for my exit. I'm checking my mirrors. I'm popping my signal on to let everybody else know that my intention is to use the slip road. I'm checking my mirrors again before I commit, and I'm gently pushing the car across the line. I'm not reducing my speed where I can until I get onto the deceleration lane to make sure that I don't impact the flow of the traffic on the main carriageway. The speed of the road has changed to 40 miles an hour. We were doing less than 40 when we got to the speed gateway. The big bend doesn't really allow for much more speed than that. And as we come out of the bend, we can increase our speed and then reduce our speed back down to 30. Checking my mirrors. We're safe to enter the roundabout. Checking my mirrors, popping my signal on, and we're exiting the roundabout. We're increasing our speed back up to 40 miles an hour. I can see brake lights coming on just as we get around the bend, so I'm checking my mirrors to make sure that we can stop if we need to and slow down safely. Looking up the road, we've got a roundabout. I'm using the signs to tell me which lane I need to be in. We're taking the second exit. Continue to follow the road ahead. Checking my mirrors and putting myself in the correct lane to continue to follow the road ahead. There's a white car coming around the roundabout. We're going to wait for him. After him, we've got a lovely gap. We're joining the roundabout. We're staying in our lane and we're checking our mirrors, putting our signal on and finding our exit. Building the speed back up to 40 miles an hour. I can see warning signs for another roundabout. So we're checking our mirrors and starting to reduce our speed. There's a speed change sign as well for 30. We're checking the entrance to the roundabout now. We're perfectly clear, so we're getting onto the roundabout without stopping. We're keeping the car over to the left. We're checking our mirrors, popping our signal on, and we're exiting the roundabout. The speed's changed back to 40 miles an hour, so we're building our speed, fighting gravity as we come up the hill. Looking up ahead, I can see that we've got a 30 miles an hour speed change. Checking my mirrors, reducing my speed to make sure that I'm doing 30 as I get to the gateway. From this roundabout, we're going to be taking the second main exit, continuing to follow the road ahead. We're in the middle lane this time. There's the first exit, that traffic is gone. And here comes our exit. Check your mirrors, put your signal on, and find your exit. The speed changes to 40 again. Checking our mirrors, we're building our speed. Now that we've reached our speed, I'm going to check my mirrors again just to make sure that everybody is exactly where I'm expecting them to be. Looking down the road again, I can see we've got another roundabout. At this roundabout, we're going to take the second exit. Continue to follow the road ahead. We're going to be in the left-hand lane. Checking my mirrors and reducing our speed down. Finding third gear. The white car is coming around the roundabout. We're waiting for him. And for the lorry and the red car. After the second red car, we're safe. We're joining the roundabout behind him. We're checking our mirrors, putting our signal on, and we're exiting the roundabout. The next roundabout is going to be exactly the same. It's the second exit. Continue to follow the road ahead. The paint on the road is telling me to be in the right-hand lane to do this. I'm checking my mirrors. I'm selecting third gear. The entrance to the roundabout is clear. We're committing. I'm checking my mirrors, finding my exit. The next roundabout is coming up. At the next roundabout, we're going to take the second exit. Continue to follow the road ahead. There's only one lane on the approach to this roundabout. We're on a slight hill, so we're making sure that we've got enough oomph to be able to get off up the hill again. Looking ahead now, we've got traffic lights, we've got parked cars, we've got people trying to join our road from the petrol station forecourt. So we need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves should something unexpected happen. The road's wide enough for us to be able to all fit through without needing to pause. I can use the lorry ahead of me as an indicator as to whether or not we're all going to fit through before I make that judgment call for myself, looking at what obstacles I've got coming towards me. As we go down the hill, gravity starts to pull us and make the car speed up, so we gently press the brake to keep that speed nicely under control. The traffic lights are turning green, so there's no need to come to a complete stop. I'm still checking my mirrors though, in advance of the traffic lights, to make sure that I'm spotting any hazards or concerns before we commit to the traffic lights. Looking all the way up the road now past the red car at the top of the hill. I'm scanning back down the road to make sure that I know exactly what's going on, exactly what I'm driving towards. I'm being told now by the signs that the road is going to get narrow and that there's a bend. So I check my mirrors and I reduce my speed a little bit to make sure that I can control the car through this tight and bendy path. We're taking the first exit left at the roundabout. There's nobody on the roundabout. We can enter. Check your mirrors and find your exit. We've got a double white line now in the road, which means that we're not allowed to cross the centre line, and the people coming in the opposite direction aren't allowed to cross the centre line either. Our visibility is massively reduced, and it's too dangerous to cross that line, so we keep ourselves tucked nice and close to the curb. As we came around the bend, I could see that the pedestrian crossing up ahead is on red, so the traffic has started to slow down a little bit. By the time we get to the lights, those lights should have turned back to green to allow the traffic to continue to move. There are cars waiting to pull out. They're safely keeping still, allowing us the priority to continue to drive. And as we come up the hill now, the speed has changed again to 40 miles an hour. Fighting gravity, so adding a little bit more be able to maintain a safe speed. And the speed limit drops again to 30. The hill helps me to slow the car down quite quickly this time. There are traffic lights up ahead, they're on green at the moment, but they could change. So I'm going to check my mirrors and slow down a little bit just in case. We're committed now, so we carry on. As we come through this section here, there is a number of cars wanting to join the carriageway, so we need to be careful, just in case one of them does something we're not expecting them to do. Keeping a nice constant speed now. The lorry in front of us is turning, so he may need to slow down quite a bit to get into this junction. Double checking our mirrors to make sure that everybody's where we're expecting them to be. I can see that we're going to have to push over now to get around these parked cars, so I'm starting to check my mirrors and slowing down. If we want to be precise and accurate with where we put the car, we do need to go a little bit slower to make sure that the car goes into exactly the place we want it to be in. There's some more traffic lights coming up ahead. At the traffic lights, we're going to continue to follow the road ahead. That's going to be the left-hand lane, so I'm checking my mirrors. And I'm gently joining the back of the traffic. The lights are changing colour, so I'm back into first gear. My pedals are back up to the bite, and we're starting to move. At the roundabout, we're going to take the second exit, continue to follow the road ahead, keeping ourselves pushed against the curb, checking our mirrors, adding our signal, finding our exit. Now we're going to take the first exit from the roundabout, and the speed limit changes again to 40. The speed limit changes now back down to 30. Checking our mirrors, applying the brake gently and firmly to make sure that we're doing 30 as we get to the speed gateway. Looking at the road ahead, I can see a roundabout. This time we're going to take the third exit round to the right. Checking my mirrors, finding that lane, waiting for the black car and the grey car. Popping my signal on. Now we're finding our way to the roundabout. At the next roundabout, we're going to take the first exit round to the left. Nice and gentle now, nice and slowly. And it's here that I'm going to say goodbye. the end of our journey has come. I hope you've enjoyed our drive today. If there's something that you'd like me to cover on my next video, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me and keeping me company. Take care.
Thank you so much for joining me on this drive. I hope you found it relaxing and calming. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more peaceful drives and driving tips. Feel free to leave a comment if there's a topic or a route you'd like to see next time. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.